Good morning. This is only going to be up here for as long as it takes me to download it and get it over to YouTube. So don't forget, if you want to see my Kountry Wayne Skits, you got to follow it on YouTube under the playlist Kountry Wayne. I was about to have my breakfast, but I was so nauseated by the videos that happened to get in front of me before I could, not pay attention. Because this whole mess, this whole Jamaica trip, this everything with the Kountry Wayne is really starting to grind on the nerves, and not in a good way. Um, I don't know what's going on with the writers or why. Out of all the people who has to suffer, it has to be us and Amber. Um, but yeah, I saw the video where Shayla in her is she Pregger's outfit was up there regurgitating all this love she has for her man and everything else like that, because men deserve their flowers, and I truly believe they do. They do. Um, it was sickening. It was like ew. It was like ew. It was like no, I didn't want to. Anyway, but I will say that Chase is the goat of pettiness. He is he is the goat of pettiness. Because he immediately jumped on stage after Shayla, who had, what I guess, you know, planned that flower giving ceremony. And he was up there, yeah, my name's Chase, my wife. She's wearing my ring because I married her, wife. And Shayla's like, well, it's not all about marriage. If you find your person, he said, yeah, but okay, well, I guess it's okay though. But, in the Bible, it's like, petty. Chase, you were petty. But you know what? Is what I needed to kind of calm the nausea that was coming up. And he's pretty much like that throughout the Jamaica trip, okay? Because after he realized that they had made such they first of all, him and Candace, they had their little problem, but it's like maybe some of his senses jumped in and he realized, we messing around. We're married folks hanging out with unmarried folks. Let me make that plain and clear every chance I get, and he did. He did. Um, yeah, that was like sickening. And then I'm scrolling through and it popped up on my Facebook page about him when Anthony and Shayla get back home, and they're like, I appreciate everything you did. You showed me you love me, and I never had anybody do that for me. Dude, you ain't been with nobody long enough to do that for you. You ain't been with nobody long enough, right, to do that for you. Just let's not get it twisted. Um, yeah, and that that again brought my nausea. And I'm like, you know what though? As I think about it, I'm thinking, you know what? I think Anthony's trying to find a plan C or D. I forget what plan he's on right now, because he always got a plan. Anthony Dalton always has a plan, because if initially his plan was, you know, um, I'm gonna get Amber back. Yeah, I'm gonna get Amber back. Not because he wanted her, but because he didn't want to get her his stuff, right? And then that became more of a problem, right? The counseling didn't go the way he thought it was gonna go. Um, Giving up his financials, it's not going the way he thought it would. I think that he might actually have some feelings for this chick, for Shayla, but they ain't no more than what he feels for himself, okay? Because at the end of the day, Anthony's gonna take care of Anthony. But since he ain't trying to be by himself, see, he might be a narcissist, but he a big baby. He ain't trying to be by himself. He always has somebody. He wants to have somebody there who's gonna stroke that ego, who's always going to be there. We had Roe doing it, and Piari doing it, and Amber doing it, and God knows Shayla is the queen of, all right, and her mother. So he always has to be surrounded with somebody who's going to stroke that ego. And right now, Shayla's the only one, because his best friend just showed him, I'm your dude, but you ain't married. Let's stop playing that game. So maybe he has these little feelings for her. So maybe this will make it even more enjoyable, sad to say, unfortunately, when we get to the Kai implosion. I'm waiting for that. The divorce, I'm waiting for that too. But I think he's already putting it in his mind what to expect, okay? Now, he still wants all his stuff. He still does not want Amber to have all his stuff. But I think he's expecting that. What he's not expecting is all these feelings that he's having for Shayla. And then he's going to find out, number one, that she messing up the divorce. She's messing it up because I don't think he knew she was posting all the goodies on internet. I mean, on the internet, on the internet, all through social media. Okay, I don't think he knew she was doing that, and he knows that that's not a good look. He could tell his lawyer all day it was a business trip. Okay, well, what business were you doing when you was hugging up on Shayla at the waterfall? What business was you doing when you was kissing up on at the what business were you doing? I didn't see you doing no business. See, that's not going to help his case at all, right? He's going to be mad at her, and he's really going to be mad at her because he's like, I trusted you. You were supposed to be my peace. I'm so glad ain't nobody said that in the moment since I said it. It, ah, it, and it's just not going to help when Kai explosion happens. Because all these feelings he's got, that's going to devastate him even more. So maybe that's what the writers are doing. They building up all this emotion that he's had for Shayla because she's been there for him. She's done things for him that he has not had anyone do for him. And he loves her. He's real free with the L word now, right? Ain't giving out that ring yet, which is what she wants. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gave her one now. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. But I think the plan might be that he's going to try and give her one, but it's not going to happen before he finds out that, number one, he all over social internet. Yes, social internet with Shayla and his lawyer and anybody else who can see, Brittany, everybody going to see all of that. It's going to make it worse. So she just postponed her proposal, I think. Yeah, yeah. Because when he tells Dalen, because he's going to tell Dalen all that stuff she did when they was in Jamaica and all this other kind of stuff and whatever. And he said, you don't think she was telling you she was looking for that ring, man? Because Dalen, loopy, but he ain't crazy. He sees stuff that Anthony refuses to see. Somebody going to point it out to him, either Dalen or Piari. Really depends on who he tells first, actually. And I'm just sick of it. I am. I watched them, and poor Amber, she had to see that they were on their way back to Atlanta, and all the pictures that she posted spoiled her trip to New York, and she just can't catch a break. Sonny ain't told her how she knows Shayla, if she knows Shayla, how close she is to Shayla. And maybe this might be the turnaround for Sonny to be like, Shayla, because I know she's following her, and she's saying, she's like, why you do that? Everybody gonna come on Shayla. They gonna come on Anthony. And he gonna be like, I didn't know. It's gonna be a hot mess. I don't purposely go looking for the videos now. When they pop up on my screen, I see them. But I want a drama. But can y'all rush? I mean, this makes Slow look like Speed Racer. This is ridiculous. And Poe, like I said, Poe Amber, who is not the 100% perfect angel child, can't catch a break. She can't have a good time for five, like she said, 5 minutes before Shanthony, that's what I'm gonna call him, Shanthony, does what they do. Oh, it's nerve-wracking. Can we just get on with the divorce and the implosion, please? Can we find out that you are not the father and have his whole heart broken? I don't wish bad on anybody, but since this is just a skit and it's a character, can we have his whole heart broken? And Shayla just been shattered because she ain't gonna know that her mama probably had something to do with those results. Okay? Can we just have them fall and hurt themselves really bad? So that Amber can catch a break? Really? Every time. Y'all enjoy your day. And remember, this is going to be on YouTube in just a few minutes. So if you see it here, you see it here. But make sure you're following me, TKTV, and look under the playlist, Kountry Wayne. I'll see you guys later. Have a great Monday. Bye.